This is part 2 of week 1, task 2, and it is explaining in a memo a 3-year plan for integrating technology into courses. The problem why some teachers choose to make decisions that facilitate technology integration into their courses, and why some teachers choose not to do not choose to make decisions that facilitate technology. In the previous video, I went over beginning with the first group of 20 teachers, 20 years of experience, and are very resistant to technology, but are excellent teachers. The second group are teachers who are comfortable with using technology, but I'm taking this in my, I'm thinking they're not very productive. They just want to have fun with the kids or the students. So my one thing I'm looking at is, okay, do they know how to match the technology with the curriculum? It is almost as if they don't use the technology to enhance the curriculum, and that would be one of the things. One of the things that I would look for in this process. Okay. Now, as I said, okay, so on the one that the article that we're reading for this group of people, and of course it is the article I'm reading is for the new teachers who are technology are not afraid of technology. It would be the best way to put it. Okay, so reading the scope of instructional technology. Technology in education is commonly defined as a technical device or tool used to enhance instructions. And that's what I was looking at. Okay, do they know how to use? That is my thought process. Do they know how to use? Well, do they need someone to show them how to develop the curriculum that will go with the technology? So it's compatible and is meaningful and purposeful. Those are the things that I'm looking for with this. The fact that they know how to use technology, we don't have to worry about them having any issues with intimidation and being fearful of it. So that is a plus on this part. The next thing I need to look at is whether or not they've explored avenues to put the technology into their curriculum. Because as the scenario says, new teachers who are technologically proficient, but tend more towards using the technology for fun with their students and the learning. I think that is probably they haven't thought of using it anyway. It's kind of like if the article said, if although they didn't know how to use it, they use it in rigid ways. So they're not getting their full effect of what technology can do to increase or enhance the learning potential or the learning or the teaching experience is what I guess I want to put it. So as I'm looking through here, I'm trying to determine whether or not they have had instruction on developing curriculum using technology. So to me, that is one of the processes that they will need to learn how to do. They're probably going to react like the other group where they're 20 years of experience and they're resistant to change. And so fear of the unknown, I guess, would be the terminology I would be using on this. So as I said, the development of curriculum and then I'm thinking, okay, we needed it purposeful, we needed to be able to complement the technology. She needs to be purposeful and complement the curriculum. So I'm not sure if I'm looking at it as at a macro or view. I know I'm not looking at a micro view, which probably is what I need to be looking at. But my thought is just teach them how to develop the curriculum. You won't the motivation is they're at the beginning of their career. They want to be able to do things to get them advanced and promote as a promotion, more experience, and doing that will allow developing curriculum with technology will allow them to advance and so that would be one thing that could keep them going. As I said, this I'm reading here. These students fail to articulate in any meaningful way how technology can be used to improve learning, and I think that says a lot on whether or not they can or can't develop the curriculum. So, and the next group would be the substitute teachers, and maybe it's because it's so difficult. But I was looking at it as Okay, financially, the school district cannot bring in all their substitutes to train them on one day and make it a paid training day. I doubt if any of the substitutes would like it to, have one of those days taken away, one of the free days taken away for unpaid training. And could you ask them to do that? That would have to be some really self-motivated individuals to be able to do that. So the alternative to all of this, to getting them trained, to being able to look at what they need to do, would be developing virtual training for them. So with substitute teachers, my thoughts are, okay, how do I put this so I could put it, okay, they're not full-time. Their goal is to become full-time. I believe that would be the motivating factor, is the possibility of advancement, or hiring, coming on board as a full-time employee. But to get them there, the thought process is, if you're looking at it from a budget standpoint, you can't bring them on board as a paid training day. However, you can make it available to them, so if they want to do professional development, they can do it on their own by virtual training. And I think that would resolve that issue. This is probably the easiest one. I thought at first would be the hardest to select. If you are not looking at how they need to be trained, because it couldn't be in a permanent facility. You have to have it to where everybody can access it in different time frames. So yeah, I believe virtual training would be able to would be the way to go with that. Plus, if they do have some people who are afraid of technology, this would allow them the opportunity to go in and play with the samples. So I don't know if that's getting too micro as opposed to macro. It's one of those things, what level, how far in depth. And I'm thinking to do an overview, especially since it's only a 400 to 500 word paper, will probably be the best route to go. That being the case, when it came to writing the memo, I used the question. I'm using the question why some teachers choose to make decisions that facilitate technology integration in their courses, and why some teachers do not do not choose to make decisions that facilitate technology. That's what the plan and or the question the plan is supposed to answer. But I'm not sure if it's supposed to be on the macro over, at the Air Force guys used to say at sky level, or, or down there in the nitty-gritty, in the dirt with them. So, that is the thought that I need to put into that one also. So I decided, after some consideration, or a lot of thought and consideration, to do a macro view. I just don't think I got it accomplished if I went real in depth to stay within the parameters of the 400 or 500 words. So the memo I drafted starts out identifying it's a 3-year plan to integrate technology into courses. The problem identified was the question that the instructor gave, which was why some teachers choose to make decisions that facilitate integration into their courses, and why some teachers do not choose to make decisions that facilitate technology integration into the courses. The plan divided the teachers into 3 different groups. One of the first things I think would need to be done when you are training any group of individuals is to find out what they know first. So my thought would be to find out what skill level they are, whether they're beginning, intermediate, or advanced. You want to put more like-minded people in the same class, because if someone is more experienced than another person, that hinders the person who is the least experienced in contributing to the class. I think a survey would be done to determine whether they're beginner, intermediate, or advanced. The initial categories were the teachers with 20 years of experience, excellent teaching credentials, new teachers who are technology friendly, proficient, but tend to use the technology for fun with their students than learning. I'm thinking that would be more like gaming. They could use technology to develop the curriculum and make it fun for the students, but still make it meaningful and purposeful. And the third group was the substitute teachers. With beginning with the first group, I think this group is going to require more training than other groups. They need to learn new ways, not only with technology, but the rules in the classroom are going to change, as they are no longer the lecturer, but the facilitator or the coach. The second group, I believe, will be a lot easier than the first group and the substitutes. I'm thinking because they already know how to interact with the students as far as the technology concerns are. They're not intimidated by it. So my thought is, although they're tech savvy, they need training on how to integrate the technology into the curriculum at a higher level than they're currently using. They need to consider how technology selected fits into the objective of the lesson, methods of instructions, evaluation, feedback, and follow-up initiatives. And that came from the article of the pedagogy of technology. Okay, and then the last group of teachers are the substitutes. This first to me was going to be the hardest, but after more forethought, I think that it will not be as difficult, especially with the virtual training. So whether they fit into any of the other categories, whether they have years of experience teaching and are intimidated by technology, or they are new to teaching but quite advanced with technology, I think that by allowing them to use virtual training, it's something they can do at home. It's something they can set their goals to. It looks, their career goals as far as advancement or becoming a permanent hire. Those are the things that I was thinking about with the substitutes, to provide them virtual training. Actually, you could do that with all of the other groups, the other two groups too. But I think you'd have to get more buy-in with the 20 years of experience teachers than you would if you than the new teachers who know how to use the technology. I just think that, whichever, whether the training is in a physical classroom or whether it is in a virtual classroom, both the school and the teachers would reap the benefits of them integrating technology into the classroom, and that also the students would benefit on that. And that is the end of part 2 of week 1, task 2.